Hi and welcome to the next update to the programming series, Zero to Hero. In this one we're going to cover the topic of programming an inventory system and adding a save and a load function to that inventory system itself. I encounter numerous bugs and yeah, the result of that I will reveal at the end. But yeah, let's get into it. So, first of all, I did the entire series. First of all, here the video series I followed to program what I did. If you want to do it yourself, I highly recommend you to follow that series as well. It's pretty detailed. You could follow it pretty well, and at the end you got an inventory system with functions. Alright, let's get into it. I opted to do it via an blueprint component, which I can then connect to any object I choose to. So here you can see I did a little icon to integrate the individual items into the inventory, and added that to the component and then to the widget. Now I need to show the widget itself. That's what you're seeing here. I'm just adding an array of like all the components based on a data sheet. So a data table. In there all the items are listed and get like a texture, like individual things for the items. I added or I did an master item and just prepared some children. So the children inherit all the items of the master, but you can change individually the children to have like different meshes, different inventories, like when you do a chest and something like that. So yeah, basically I'm just getting started setting up the function to get the inventory shown. That's the inventory based on my character. I opted to go with 16 slots, and when I pick something up, that icon I showed you before will be shown up in the inventory. But the inventory won't close anymore. I just have to add this same function once more and get it like with a flip-flop to close it again. And that's exactly what I did. And here you see the first issue. A lot of bugs. I got bugs like hell with everything, and most of them I couldn't even handle or fix. So the next step was to integrate individual items getting stacked and placed next to each other based on the stack size, which is connected in the blueprint component. And with that, the individual stacks can be put onto each other or next to each other based on the stacking. So here you can see I'm switching now the stack size, the max stack size, from 1 to 2. So I can stack the individual items onto each other. And here you can see it works just fine. 2 items will be stacked onto each other. I got 1 item, it will not stack. Just to see it again, I switched it back to 1, and they will be placed next to each other. I opted to put out an display of the array so I can just debug it, and this invalid function is pretty simply fixed by getting an isValid state into the function itself. I fixed that and got back to it. That was the easy part to fix, but there are so much more of like bugs and things didn't work out, but we'll get to that later. So the invalid state, this one will be fixed, but I will get more, and I didn't know how to fix them. They will stick. And another bug, which is not shown in the video, I open up the inventory, and when I click an item, it will not close. I need to click again and then it will close. And I don't know how to fix it. Up next is the inventory of storage chest and stuff like this. And I opted to go like with a storage cabinet, electrical cabinet. Don't know what this is. Maybe it's just a counter in an old kitchen. I don't know. But I opted to go with this mesh and added my inventory component to it. And by adding it, I gave it an inventory. I can do it like one, just a small pocket of like a jacket, or a whole cabinet with this one, 16 stacks. And here I added the widget, which will be shown if I open up a storage cabinet. So after editing in the inventory grid and the inventory slots to the canvas panel, I just renamed them to get the proper name in the individual case so I don't mix them up. The first one I named Player Inventory Grid, and the second one will be Container Inventory Grid. Then I tried it out and tried to open it up, but there was just bugs. This is also a pretty basic one. I did a link to a function which didn't exist and didn't add up. I switched it properly and now you see it opens up. It just doesn't close anymore. Same issue with the inventory before. I just had to edit the same function as in the inventory, the play inventory before. The result of that was just it closed. Just follow the tutorial and you will get it. So now I'm adding the function to move items across and only put items onto each other if they're equal to each other. So as you can see here, I can now move items from one side to another, which I didn't show here. It didn't stack properly yet. That's what I'm adding here now. The state now is that they will replace each other, but not stack onto each other. And now I'm adding the function to add it, or if it's different, it will just not put it onto each other. So we need to get the current stacks, the actual stacks we want to add to it, compare it, and this was a hell how to do it. I did switch something up at the beginning, I didn't see, and had to do it like over 5 hours, fixing it, trying out how to put it onto each other. It didn't work out, and at the end it was just a simple connection I did wrong. But now the stacking begins, and I can tell you it doesn't work. The stacking was hell. As I said before, it took me like 5 hours or so to put it up properly and make it stack. Another issue you can see here, the stacking size. The first one went to 5, the second one went to 6 and added one more. The issue here was that I added the stack size from the place before onto each other, and yeah, it just didn't work. And there's another bug. I moved it over, but it didn't delete the first one, it just stacked it again. And here you can see me fixing it, trying to fix it, move stuff around, which value I will add, and yeah, it was hell. It was actual hell. It took like forever to fix it. I did it like 3 times from the beginning, and then I had this bug. It just vanished. I don't know why, it just vanished. And I got so frustrated. It was literal hell, and I just quit. I just was done for the day. The next day I started again, and then I found one issue. I renamed one item to rifle, but didn't add the row name properly, which ended up messing up the code, and it didn't stack up properly. At the end it worked, this fixed it, and it didn't vanish anymore, it just worked. Next up was the using or dropping menu. You pressed right click and you got this menu while in the inventory. You had to put the focus onto the inventory system, and then it worked. Here I opted to go with a comparison to drop it. If there's just 1, you will drop the whole stack. If there's 2, you will just drop 1. and this is what you're going to see here. Use all, drop all doesn't work yet. Use doesn't work either. As you can see, another bug. It's valid function. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it goes. I got no freaking idea. No idea. I just accepted it at the end. It was just there when I closed the game. And I asked myself, watch the video again. What did I do wrong? What did he do? What I didn't do? But yeah, I opted to add an apple to the game, so the use function is a little bit more useful. But yeah, here I dropped all, but it didn't spawn in the world. It just works now. I added it. Drop one, still doesn't work. The comparison is not good. I had to delete it and just edit the drop all, which was a bit easier. I just didn't understand it properly. So now I had to put it into the world. And to do so, I had to get the item mesh of itself and spawn it in as an actor into the world. As you can see, it got the item component, but it just didn't spawn into the world. And I didn't understand why. I couldn't find the solution to it. I tried it and tried it and tried it, but it never spawned. The problem was quite simple. I've been using the master item, and the master item doesn't have a mesh. So I created a child of the blueprint master and added the blueprint component to it, the data table to it, so it was like a full item. Added the mesh to the data table, so it was all fixed. And then I tried to spawn it, and it didn't spawn. And it was like, come on, why doesn't it work? Relax. It did spawn. I just forgot something. The collision box. I spawned it, and it fell through the world, so I didn't see it. So I had to add the collision box to the mesh, and after that, drop one, and there it was. Just on the floor, and I could kick it and back into it and twist myself, yeah. It finally worked, and I had so much fun kicking it around because it just worked. It just finally worked. It was a whole lot of work to the point you see now. It was like 10 hours of programming straight footage. I did offline bug fixing, so in the end it's like 20 hours of programming this. Then I tried to add a text to the item itself, so it shows when I'm near to it that the item can be picked up. It didn't work, it just spun around it, as you can see before. And then I encountered a new bug. The item itself was there, but if I was like not watching it, like it was expanding to it. And the apple was so small that I couldn't pick it up, or didn't find the point to pick it up. So here you can see how far it is off to pick up the apple. In the end, I reduced the interaction field to 1, and after that it worked. So there was no offset to it. It just worked after that. So next, when I drop all, I wanted to put the things into a container, and I just got one from Brixton Bridge. It will spawn instead of the M4 itself if the stack size is more than 1. If it's just 1, you want to drop 1, it will spawn just the mesh of the item you want to drop. But otherwise it will spawn the container. So now you see the load function. And this is the final step I did, and it broke everything. So I opted to just save and spawn every time I pick an item up or interact with an inventory or move stuff around. It's just getting the array of items, putting it into a save file, and loading it when you start a new game. And as you can see here, I just throw it around, close the game, doesn't work. Throw it around, like drop another item, no, it doesn't work. So yeah, what's the result of that? I get so many bugs and I don't understand how to fix them, and it's still a learning progress. So I'm going to do all over again, start anew, do a different tutorial, and start with adding a full scale character to it, and then adding an inventory system afterwards. The state, currently I don't understand where the bugs come from, and I don't have the knowledge to fix them, so I need to get more practice and need to get more knowledge. So I won't delete the state we're in now, but I need to get more practice and more knowledge to fix these issues, because I don't understand them. So in the next video, I'm going to cover the character design, just getting a new character, animating it, do animations and stuff like that. So the whole new topic. This will remain like this until I know how to fix these issues, and then I will come back to it, fix them, and integrate my knowledge afterwards. It will not lose the stuff we did yet. We will come back to it. It will just be put aside. So yeah, I need to learn more, and that's basically it. I hope you can understand my reasoning behind it. If you got any knowledge about programming, you can write a comment down. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it, learned a little bit. And if you wanna do the same tutorial as I did, please check out the tutorial. It's linked down in the description. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.